Great, let's talk about progressions this time and how chords like to move in different ways. I'm sure you've heard the phrase 1-4-5 or 2-5-1 or 1-5-6-4 or 1-6-4-5. What are they talking about? This is a great way to tell you what chord we are moving to without delegating the key that we are going to be in. This is very beneficial for singers, saying I can sing in this key very well, but today I'm kind of a little bit lower, so can we do a 2-5-1 in the key of B flat? Can we do a 2-5-1 in the key of G? That is all the information you will need. Just like our numbers, telling us seventh chords and stuff like this, we are building chords on these numbers in that scale. If we're in the key of C and someone says play a 1-5-6-4, I'm going to build chords in that scale on top of those numbers. In this case, a 1-5-6-4 is going to be C major, C, D, E, F, G. I'm going to build a G major, which means I'm going to have my first, third, and fifth note, which is G, B, D. After that, I'm going to the sixth note and building a chord off of it in the key of C major, which is A minor, A, C, E. Beautiful. And the fourth chord, I hope you can guess by now, C, D, E, F major, which has F, A, C in it, would be the 4 chord. Maybe I said play a minor 4 chord. In this case, you would play the first, flatted third, and the fifth, and F, which would make it F minor, which is F, A flat, and C. So this tells us what chords we are playing, in what key, and some of their qualities. We generally assume their qualities if we are in a major or a minor key. Just like I assumed that a 1-5-6-4 is going to have the 6th chord is going to be an A minor, because we are in this ordered scale of tones, and in this case, A minor is in C major. That's just how it works. Great, so let's take a quick listen. This is a very popular progression. 5, 6, 4. 1, 5, G, A minor, F. Let's just do that same thing in a different key. Here it is in the key of D, which would be D, A, B minor, G. So I'm shifting everything into a different key, but the quality stays the same. A minor. Try to play it relatively similar. D, A major, B minor, G. There it is in E, you know? Sounds exactly the same, so we can use these 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 11, whatever chord progression you want to use. Excellent. These are how these chords move, and it becomes easier than saying a whole bunch of chord jargon to somebody. You can just say it's a 2-5-1, or we're going to the 5 chord in the key of B flat, and if you're going to be able to play with some cats, you just got to memorize this stuff. So if you want to take a minute and guess what the 5 chord is in B flat, I'd even recommend you make it a dominant 7th chord. Would be highly favorable, especially if you're playing blues. And in this case, that is an F7. F, A, C, E flat are those notes. Great, so these are progressions. Let's go over a couple more real quickly. A 2-5-1, which is most popular in jazz, and these chords like to move with the 3 different 7th chords that we talked about earlier. A minor 7th chord, which is going to be our D minor 7, which in the key of C would be our 2 chord. We're going to use the key of C for this, and we're starting on our 2nd chord here, which is D, F, A, C, which is a D minor 7th chord. We have flat at the 3rd, and we have flat at the 7th note in that for it to sound like this. D, F, A, C. From there we're going to our 5 chord, 2-5-1, is our progression, which is going to be a G dominant. It's going to be G, B, D, F. These dominant chords love to bring tension to our 1 chord. In this case, it's going to be a C major 7th chord. Doesn't sound too terrible. A lot of jazz is built off this idea, and also these chords become very useful for you to know where the progression is and probably going to be. If I made this a C minor chord, I could turn this into the 2 of B flat. Here is a C minor 7, which is going to go to the 5, which we already talked about in B flat. The 5 of B flat is F7. Beautiful. This is an F dominant chord, which is the major 3rd and the flatted 7th. This brings tension back to our 1 chord, which in this case is B flat major 7. Beautiful. We could keep going through this little pattern and we can make that a B flat minor 7, going to an E flat, going to an A flat major 7, and we can keep this little circle going around and around and around. Great, let's talk about one or two other quick progressions. There's the 1-4-5, which blues and classical are strongly based on. Classical music really embedded this idea that the 5 chord wants to go back home, and that is totally fine. We're all big fans of this. This 1-5-1. Here's a 1-4-5. It will shake it up, baby. Now, beautiful. Use that as a reference if you ever hear that progression. You can associate it with that. Here is a 1-6-2-5. Just like we can flat our third to make it a minor chord, we can utilize the flatted notes that aren't in our scale. It's called modal mixture, using the parallel minor chords. So in C major, there are no black notes. In this case, we're going to go from a 1 to a flatted 3. The major 3 is E natural, or it's E natural. In this case, we're going to go to an E flat major. We're going to see how that sounds. Here's a 1 flat 3. Beautiful. Doesn't sound too bad. It actually has some great tension and adds a little bit more power to it than I think some of the major chords do. Let me play the major chords for you a couple more times. Here's 1, 5, 6, 4. Here's that flat 3 now. To a flat 7. Back to 1. Here's the chords I played. I played C major, G major, A minor, F. Here's E flat. Here's B flat. Nope, here's A flat. B flat up to C. Great, so I just told you, without really having to be in a certain key, we could jump to the key of F or G or B flat or F flat, and I could say the chord progression is a 1-5-6-4, and then it goes to a flat 3 and a flat 7th chord. You will now know what that is, you will know where the song is going, and your ear will be strong enough to know where it's going next, as well as where it is currently if you are lost. These are progressions, these are how these numbers work, and it's also a great tool for writing. And once you know these rules, you can break them properly.